And now, coming to you live from the Chocolate Bar Studios, Tropical Country with B-Dawg and Lou.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Hump Day!
There's a party going on around town. It's one rowdy cowboy throwdown here in H-Town, where we're stronger than a hurricane. From miles around, best of the best come here to put their tough to the test. Give it all for gold or go home broke when they open up that gate. Welcome to the show, welcome to the home of the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars light up the night underneath that Texas sky. Welcome to the show, are you ready for a ride? Yeah, you better buckle up and hold on tight, where the Bayou City streets meet the country roads. Welcome to the show. It's a Houston tradition, 4-H, FFA, and go Texan. And you can bet, son, it's gonna be around a long, long time. When these riders and ropers give it their best, we'll show them how loud the hometown crowd can get. 'Cause tonight, y'all, we all got a little bit of cowboy deep inside. Welcome to the show, welcome to the home of the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars light up the night underneath that Texas sky. Welcome to the show, are you ready for a ride? Yeah, you better buckle up and hold on tight, where the Bayou City streets meet the country roads. Welcome to the show! Welcome to the show, are you ready for a ride? Yeah, you better buckle up and hold on tight, where the Bayou City streets meet the country roads. Where the Bayou City streets meet these country roads. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Tropical Country with B-Dawg and Lou, right here on Tiki Man Radio. And of course, we are coming to you live from the headquarters of Tiki Man Radio, the Chocolate Bar Studios here in beautiful Harrison Bay, overlooking the majestic Chickamauga Lake. And of course, we are broadcasting live on Tiki Man Radio, TikiManRadio.com, and the Tiki Man Radio YouTube channel, courtesy of MFG Records Tropical Live Cam. Our show is brought to you by JBL Legends Travel, the official travel company of Tiki Man Radio, and partner for the 3rd annual Tiki Man Radio Escape to Paradise. This year going to the Dominican Republic. If you plan into your vacation or want to know more about the trip to Escape to Paradise going to the Dominican Republic, reach out to Joe Leo, 732-831-5200. Goaltending Services and Outfitters is the premier charter service and outfitter shop in Key West. They have recently upgraded the fleet and opened the store, who has everything and anything that you would want or need. And if you want to know more about goaltending services and outfitters, contact them at 305-916-0990 or look them up online at gtscharters.com. And of course, it's another week. We're back. I know we took the week off last week, and you know, we had some grumbles about it, but it's all right. We are all back. And of course, I didn't forget the love of my life, the queen of my double wide trailer, Laura Lou. I brought her back with me.
Hey, y'all. How are you?
There was people trying to get her to stay.
There were. So Giraffe was all about me staying this week, and I told her I had to come back. We have an amazing in-studio guest today, so I couldn't miss that.
That's right, and of course, she is speaking none other than Mr. Derek James.
Hello.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Man, I'm excited to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
As I was telling, I've told everybody, and I was telling you before the show, I've been playing your music for the last couple of years. As soon as I discovered you, and I've been working your music in my personal playlist here on the show, and we've gotten a lot of positive remarks back about it. And the newest single, Margarita?
Yeah, Midnight Margarita.
Midnight Margarita. We played that one there 2 weeks ago,
All right.
and debuted that one. So to let everybody know that you was coming in the studio, and we're going to get to know about you, and hopefully get you to play some tunes for us over the course of the couple hours.
Yeah, I can't wait. I was just blown away to hear that you've been playing my stuff for a couple of years. It's like
Since before you came to Nashville.
before.
Yeah.
So, which of course we're going to get to know all about him and his music, and like I said, I've been following this guy for the last couple of years, and I'm excited to finally have him here. So, but first, how about let's get some quick shout outs if we have any.
Well, I'm going to start out with our other California guy.
Oh,
Callie McCool is out there.
Callie McCool over there from the left coast.
Yeah.
And of course, he has the student crew right here on Tiki Man Radio.
So yeah, you're from California as well. So we
Mm-hmm.
thought we would start out with that.
Love it.
Hey, also want to say hey to Mo. She is out there. Miss Maureen, she is at a high school volleyball
Hey,
conference.
it's a championship, so we're going to need score updates there, Mo. See how everything, because I believe it's her niece, I believe.
Yep.
I may be wrong on that.
Oh,
but
granddaughter.
Granddaughter.
Yep.
So that's volleyball championship. So we'll need to hear about that.
Yeah, so she said she's at the granddaughter's high school volleyball championship, and she has us on screen, but she's not able to turn the volume up yet. So thank you for being so dedicated.
I'm not up on my sign language, so I don't have closed captioning up. So hopefully you got closed captioning on your phone there.
And Rick the Stick is out there. He was the first one to chime in tonight.
Of
He
course,
said
it's Rick the Sticks, Hometown Licks, right here on Tiki Man Radio every Sunday night at 5.
he is one of our resident truck drivers, and he
Yeah.
is just leaving Chattanooga, headed south.
Oh, wow.
Love it.
Hey, Rick, I wore this tonight just for you.
Yeah, he said.
Just for you, buddy.
He said, "What's that
OH.
shit on your hat?" That's what he said.
Of course, he is a big Penn State fan, and it is Ohio State Penn State week. So
That's right.
I had to do it.
That's what his comment was. What's that shit on your hat? Also wanted to say hello to Verona Corona. She is out there tonight.
Hello to Verona. She made her way from Canada down to Mexico yet.
I don't think so.
I know
I
it's
don't
about
think
that
so.
time of year. Maybe not cold enough
I'm
in
falling
Canada
behind on my Facebook, and so I don't know. But I don't think so. Monica and Vacuum Cleaner Tom.
yet. Of course,
Hello,
that is
guys.
that is Moni, the producer of The Big Show, Sunday mornings with the Tiki Man, right here on Tiki Man Radio every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. Can be heard on TikiManRadio.com and also the Tiki Man Radio YouTube channel, courtesy of the Island J webcam.
And singer-songwriter Jason AC is out
Hey,
there.
Jason.
He says happy hump day.
Hey, happy hump day.
Also, let me see. The list grew. So Taylor, Austin, Little Miss Everly, and Little Denver are all out there tonight.
Well, hello, guys. It was great getting to meet Little Denver for the very
Oh,
first
I
time.
know. He's so precious.
And also, the two kids tying the knot.
I
So,
know. Congratulations, guys. We're
That's right.
officially allowed to say it since
Yep.
it's Facebook official now.
She posted all the pictures, so
She did.
it is official.
And the pictures are gorgeous. Lovely Larice, hello to you.
Hello. Talk about other California natives.
Yeah.
They
There's
moved.
lots of Californians.
They moved here from California.
We're taking over.
Oh, long. Yeah.
Everyone's like, no, please.
Well, it depends on which Californians are coming. We'll say that.
That's for sure.
We definitely love the friendly and talented ones.
That's right. Also, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Mr. Joe Leo. JBL Legends Travel
Hey,
is out
Joe.
there. He's the OG sponsor.
Yes, he is.
And Uncle Alex, hello to you.
Hey, Uncle Alex down there in Boca, Florida.
He said, "What's a Buckeye?"
It's a poisonous nut, all right? I always get it. What the heck's a buckeye? A nut don't sound very intimidating. Well, it's a poisonous one, all right?
It's one that'll kill you if you eat it. Let me see. Uncle Alex says, happy birthday, Larry. If you're out there listening tonight, it is my little brother's birthday tonight. So want to say hello. Alan Jacks Bowers, hello to you.
Alan Jacks Bowers.
Another
Sponsor of Tiki Man Radio.
Sponsor.
Percussionist extraordinaire.
Yeah. Lots of talented folks chiming in tonight, so super happy about that. And I think that might be the list for right now, although I'm not going to swear, but I think so.
They always pop up, and as they come in,
do.
we will make sure that we give you a big shout out and welcome you to the show. We thank you, everybody, for being with us. You know,
Ed Kubiak.
Ed Kubiak, he's a member of Get on That Peace Train with Ed the Train Man every Monday night right here on Tiki Man Radio. And, of course, Ed the Train Man, he has that great show going on now. And I tell you what, they're killing it. Did you see their new T-shirts as well?
I did. Those are some cool shirts.
Killers. I'm like, man, we got to step up our T-shirt game.
I know. You know, we're getting ready to move.
Yes.
And so I've been slacking on the whole making videos, designing shirts thing. So I got to get on it.
Yes, you do.
Tiki Man informed me tonight. The boss has spoken.
That boss says.
And the beautiful Bill and Sean Crowley are out there tonight.
Well, talk about talented musician, singer, songwriter, Bill
That's
Crowley.
right. So if you want some connections in the coastal
Yeah.
Americana world, we got you.
I love it.
So lots of people tuning in. So again, we're super happy to have you here, Derek. Thank you for making the trek and braving the 24 split over there.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
when you said she said you were stuck in traffic.
I
I'm
need
like,
to start warning
did you
people.
warn them about 24? That
That's exactly what it was, 24.
Yep.
it had to be. I
Yeah.
mean, Nashville traffic is horrendous, but I think Chattanooga traffic is quickly catching up to just, avoid 24 at all costs. If there's a detour you can take, avoid that split because it will eat you up just about every time.
Yeah, it's underrated, but it's pretty good traffic. But I'm excited to be here again. Thanks for letting me hop on here, and cool to hear all the people tuning in tonight. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're all excited. Like I said, we've been talking about you, and so we mentioned that you are a California native.
I am.
So what part of California?
So I grew up in a town called Modesto, California. If anyone's ever heard of Modesto.
I've heard of it.
It's infamous for a couple reasons, but grew up in Modesto, born and raised, 18 years there. My family's all kind of from the Central Valley of California. I was born and raised there. A lot of good people. It's I guess primarily an agricultural area, sort of the main industry. It's not a small town by any means. It's about 200,000-ish people. But it's in the Central Valley of California, so a lot of almond trees and walnuts and cherries and all kinds of crops. And
How cool. You don't think of that well, at least I don't when I think of California. I think city. Like,
exactly.
Nothing but sidewalks and buildings.
And
the
smog.
coast. And smog.
You
And the
think of
coast.
LA is what you think of.
Yeah, I do. I think of LA. So until I look at Callie's posts, then sometimes
Yes.
I get another vision. But yeah, it's cool to hear that they have all that stuff out there.
It is, yeah. It's diverse in many ways. So where I grew up, if you go an hour and a half east, you're in San Francisco, or if you go an hour and a half, toward the mountains, you're in the Sierra Nevadas.
Oh, wow.
If you kind of head northeast a little bit, west, you go to San Francisco. Northeast, you're in the Sierras. So you got water, you got snow, you got scorching hot days in the valley, all right there within an hour and a half of each
wow.
other. So it's a kind of a cool area.
So
That is
very
cool.
centrally located.
Exactly.
That's
Central
kind of
location.
way here in Chattanooga. We like that because we're just a couple hours from Atlanta, a couple hours from Nashville, Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
It's just a couple hours from everywhere, and we kind of like that as well. So we can mix it up a little
Get
bit.
a taste of just about everything.
Absolutely.
Well, Callie McCool said he knows Modesto. He goes through it on his way to the mountains.
Yep.
Larice says wine grows in Modesto.
It sure does. We got the biggest winery in the country, Gallo Winery. They're based
Oh, wow.
in
I did not know
Modesto,
that.
California, believe it or not. So
Wow.
Oh, how
yeah, they
cool.
do grow some good wines there in the valley.
Well, Larice's folks lived in Modesto. So lots of connections to our
Very cool.
listeners tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who'd have
Rick the
thought?
Stick has driven his truck through there. So, and apparently Rick the Stick was right near you on 24 because he said
Yep.
he just drove through the the accident too. So
Yeah. Wasn't just me caught in that traffic.
no, it wasn't just you.
No, it gets a lot of people. It gets a lot of people.
It does.
So obviously, like I said, being centrally located, a lot of your music is, it seems like you're attracted to that water.
I sure am. I tell you what, that sort of started in my college years. So I grew up in Modesto in the Valley, but I went to college at a place called San Luis Obispo, home of the Cal Poly Mustangs. I don't know if you guys are familiar
I've
with
heard of Cal Poly.
Yeah. So when I was 18, I moved away from home and went to school in SLO. We refer to it as SLO, San Luis Obispo. It's right around Pismo Beach, Morro Bay, kind of between Santa Barbara and San Francisco.
Okay.
So the campus is about 10, 15 minutes from Avila Beach and Pismo Beach. So that's kind of where the coastal comes from. I say my music is coastal country because I grew up in Modesto, Central Valley, a little bit more country, and then of course going to college there on the coast. That was kind of like my two worlds colliding.
And that was the first thing that caught my attention. You know, I hear a song, but then I go to look at a bio, and as soon as I saw coastal country, I'm like, hello.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of what we do.
We initially actually was going to call this show, when we first started out, Coastal Country.
Okay, yeah.
But there was already a Coastal Country radio show out there.
Got it.
So that's why we leaned the other way and just went with tropical instead.
I love the tropical name too. I mean, that's the perfect way to describe it as well. Coastal country, tropical country.
Right.
It's
love it.
It's a big thing, you know. It's a genre that I feel like is mainstream and people don't kind of know it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You name of any artist and they got a beach song. They got songs that are inspired by the coastal life and life on the water.
So were you aware of the trop rock and coastal Americana genres coming into it?
Not really. No, that's something I kind of got more into as I just was around the Central Coast longer. I listened to mainly country music growing up, but I was always into kind of other bands and other genres. And
As I think all of us are eventually.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But it wasn't until kind of moving there and just getting more into the music scene as I kind of just started to play out, write songs, and kind of expand throughout the coast and met different people and kind of started listening to the coastal country music. And it's still something I'm kind of getting educated on and learning more about the whole tropical country scene. And I know there's a big influence here moving to the south down in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big thing. So being way over on the West Coast, I don't think it's quite as big as it is kind of in this area and down in the Southeast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of friends who are in Nashville in the country music scene, but they're also heavily involved in the trop rock coastal Americana genre as well. Kirsty Krause is over there, Erica Sunshine Lee's over there. The list goes on and on of artists that are country music, but they
travel from Nashville to Key West. Everywhere in between.
That's right. So, who knows, you may be on that track very soon as well.
I'm hoping to be. That's, I'm definitely would love to talk to you guys more about that and figure out where the cool places are to play around here in Florida.
We'll give you some artists to follow on Facebook so that you can kind of see where they're at and what they're doing and maybe make some connections. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, we got coming up very, very soon. We have, we got the Tiki Man Radio Escape to Paradise down in Key West coming up. Here and we also there's like Meeting of the Minds, and plus within the coastal Americana trop rock community there are a boatload. Excuse the pun, of house concert venues as well.
Yeah.
And they're just numerous out there. So, we can give you some pointers and directions of places to go.
We can point you in the right direction.
All right. That'd be great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, Callie says he's about 45 minutes west of Modesto.
Okay.
And he said one of the best spots for surfing is near San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, Morro Bay has got a big surf scene down there. I tried a few times, but I never quite got good enough to call myself a surfer by any means. So I wish I was that cool, to be honest, because surfing is so awesome when you see those guys shredding.
Here, I thought all you California kids could surf. I mean, that's a myth then, huh?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a myth. I've tried it, but it's not easy. But I had some good buddies of mine in school. They were always surfing and stuff. So sometimes I'd go out there and just watch them carve up the waves. But no, I snowboard. I definitely grew up snowboarding, so that's something I'm into. But surfing is still on my to-do list of things to to get to.
So
I would have to do it on one of those. What are like the big resorts that have the indoor wave thing that you
yeah.
can surf? I'd have to do it that way, because everybody listening probably has heard me say this a million times. I love the ocean as long as I'm sitting on the sand. If I go in the water, I'm panic because I love to swim, and I love sharks. I don't want to meet one face to face or nothing. So I can't do it. It terrifies me. Terrifies me.
Big unknown, you don't know what's going on out there.
Exactly. So yeah, Larice said slow is awesome. She said her grades couldn't get her into that college. So you must have been a smart guy, because I know what Larice does for a living, and she's a smart lady.
What did you major in?
Man, I majored in the most random thing that you've probably ever heard of. So it was this degree called Industrial Technology and Packaging Engineering, ITP as we called it. I thought I was going to be in the medical field for a long time. When I was growing up, I kind of wanted to be a doctor or a pharmacist. My dad's in healthcare.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was going to be my thing. So I was a pretty good student and I always was into school, and sports were kind of more of my focus as a kid. And then when I went to Cal Poly, I majored in biology for about 2 years, and then I was like, man, this is not for me. This is way too tough, and my grades aren't going to be good enough to get into grad school. So I ended up switching into something that it was a little bit more interesting to me, the ITP, the packaging kind of world, which there's not too many packaging schools out there in the country, so it's kind of a cool niche, and you get to do projects, use your hands, build things, and take a lot of cool classes with materials and testing and stuff. So I kind of enjoyed it. But yeah, that's sort of what I studied. Nothing to do with music by any means. But
Well, I had actually heard of that before. I used to work in a packaging plant. So,
did you?
So
Okay.
I'm familiar with that term.
interesting. Yeah.
And see, as a nurse, I go right to, you could connect that with pharmacy, because they do the individually packaged medications.
They do.
And that's always innovative, trying to see different ways to package that are convenient for the patient and all of that stuff at home. So, so I see that. Hey, Golden Girl. Our friend Claudia is out there saying hello.
Of course, that is our producer and manager. That's the Golden Girl of Golden Entertainment. She keeps us straight and tells us what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong.
That's right.
So, how did you get into music?
Well, I sort of dabbled, I guess, in music as a kid. Like I said, I was more into sports and kind of focused on school. But there was a period of time, I think I started, the saxophone was my first instrument.
Oh, I love the sax.
I want to say in fourth grade. So I played the alto saxophone from fourth grade all the way through 8th grade.
I was the clarinet girl for those years.
Clarinet.
So,
Yeah. It's like everyone was something. You either played the flute or saxophone, or my brother played the trumpet, my sister played the clarinet, and I did saxophone.
As the jock, I don't have a musical bone in my body. So
he came home to his mom saying, "You are not going to play. I'm not going to listen to you practice that all the time." So he said, "Okay, fine," and went and got a football helmet instead.
Hey.
Because back in the day, I came home with a drum pad and some sticks, and my mom's like, "Yeah, that ain't happening.
Not gonna work."
I went home. I came back then the very next day with a football helmet, and she gave in because I think she was afraid what I was going to come home with next. So she was just like, "I'm not watching you get hurt." So. And all of that, but conveniently, my brother played in the band.
Okay. She's like, I can't.
I think she learned her lesson.
Yeah. I can't have two instruments in the house.
Yeah. She did. So saxophone was your first.
Sax was the first, and I did band, from elementary through middle school, and then kind of picked up the bass guitar a little bit. Then I played in the drum line in middle school and took guitar lessons. So kind of got into music somewhat early in life, but kind of fizzled out in high school. Like I said, more into sports and school. And then it wasn't until I went to school at Cal Poly that I got back into music. So in the dorms, I met a close friend of mine, PJ Repetto. He brought his guitar with him, and so did I. And I was like, "Oh, you like country music? You like country music? We both write songs. Let's hang out. Let's be buddies." So
cool.
Yeah, we became friends pretty quick and started kind of writing our first songs together. And he was in a band in high school. He's from Placerville, California, way up north in California. And he brought all of his equipment from his high school band to college. So he had the mic stands. He had, you know, all the equipment that you need, the PA system, the cables.
Nice.
He was ready to start a band.
He was ready to go. So after about a year or two of just kind of hanging out, playing songs in the dorms in our apartment, we decided we're going to do our very first gig, and that was at the our little farmers market that our town did, the San Luis Obispo farmers market on Thursday. They shut down the whole downtown, so we had to pay the city $40 to play. So
That seems backwards, don't it?
That's the real version of the music business. Can I just
Exactly.
tell you that? Yeah.
Yeah, you can come play, but you're going to pay us.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. So we had to pay $40 on our first gig, but you know, we made 60 that night, so $10 each.
Oh.
Hey, there you go.
You made
Felt
a
like
profit.
$1 million. It did. It was a profit nonetheless.
Nice.
So at that point in time, you became a professional musician.
That's right. That was my very first paid gig, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Even though I paid
$10
them,
is $10 is what they
That's
say, right?
Exactly. So kind of never looked back. One thing led to another. Then we started playing little college
You were
bars.
hooked after that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just like, I couldn't believe that even $10, as minuscule as that is, I was like, wow, we made that just from singing and playing guitar on the street of the farmer's market. So I thought that was the coolest thing, and I was pretty much hooked after that.
Nice. So you got into writing songs pretty much immediately then.
Yeah, I had never really written songs prior to college, and then, like I said, I met my buddy PJ, and then we just sort of started writing some songs. I didn't know how to do it really, and you know, any songwriter will tell you your first songs are always quite awful looking back.
That's what we've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I guess you might get some gifted people who write great songs from the get-go, but yeah, for us it was a journey. You know, the first tens and tens of songs are not great, and I remember we would have beach bonfires all the time, and we used to play songs for our friends, and they were like, "Yeah, those are songs. Keep going, keep writing."
Keep practicing.
Yeah. But you know, we improved. We got better and better. Started playing gigs in college bars all around our town, and sort of started cutting our teeth, I guess you could say, and writing better songs, and eventually got hooked up with a local studio in that area and recorded some original music, which was cool.
Yeah.
And we had a band called Grand Ave, which was the name of our college, the street that our college was on. So that was
that's
a little,
cool.
Yeah, a little shout out to Cal Poly. And the beach that we always used to go to was also on a street called Grand Ave. So it just made sense to call the band Grand Ave.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's where I learned about writing songs, putting music out. We kind of did the whole independent releasing music, and kind of never looked back. Eventually graduated, and the band sort of dissipated. You know, people moved on, and
Right.
one of our guys got married, has a little boy now. Another gentleman joined the military, and then PJ and I were kind of left like, we're trying to do music. You know, what do we do now? So he ended up moving to Nashville about a year before I did.
Okay.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
wondering if y'all came together or if he came at all.
Yeah, he was the first guy to come, and then I was still in the area just kind of playing gigs, doing music for the most part, and working at a winery part-time, pouring wine and playing gigs all over the Central Coast, and eventually I just
Doesn't
said,
sound
"No."
like a bad life to me.
No,
It wasn't. It was a sweet life. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was tough to leave. You know, the beach 10 minutes away, playing gigs on the water, but ultimately I just said, man, I gotta do this for real. So I came out to Nashville, and it's been about 2 years now.
So how's your Nashville journey been?
It's been good for the most part, for sure. It's a bit of a learning curve.
Nashville's a whole nother world.
Yeah.
For sure.
We love Nashville. A lot of people hate it, but we actually love Nashville.
Yeah, we love Nashville. I don't know if I would love it
To
if
live
I-
there?
To live there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would love it if I was in the business
Right.
in that way. But we love Nashville. Love to visit Nashville. We'll say that.
Yeah, there's music everywhere. It's like if that's what you're looking to do, it's kind of the country music mecca of the world. So
Yeah.
I miss a lot of things. I miss about home for sure. Family is the biggest thing that I'm missing out here. I love it here in Nashville, but being away from the beach and the coastal lifestyle is takes some getting used to. You know, being landlocked is
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
ideal, but you know, we deal with it for sure. But for the most part, I'm having a great time. I've been just writing basically for the last couple of years, writing, meeting people, playing as many gigs as I can, and just trying to,
Well, Nashville is definitely all about the meeting people.
It is.
Yeah, networking. Definitely.
Networking is the way to do it, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's what kind of blew me away is like these first couple of years in, now I'm starting to understand more about it, and it's like, yes, you got to have great songs, you got to be a good person and put a good foot forward, but really what's going to be the difference a lot of times is how people feel about you and how many folks you know, and knowing the people in the right places to get your songs to that artist or that publisher or whoever.
Yep.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to focus on moving forward is, getting out there, meeting people, and trying to share the music that I've been writing for the last couple of years.
Well, I'm telling you, the coastal Americana trop rock world really is the place to do that, because the artists in that genre, there's always stuff that goes on behind the scenes, but for the most part, I will say every artist that we've met has said that those artists just welcome you with open arms. I mean, it's just a giant family, basically.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll definitely have to give you some names.
Yeah, because many of them,
they're amazing.
They work together, they write together, they collaborate together.
Sometimes they hook
Yeah.
up and travel together.
Yep, and
cool.
we've seen where we've been to gigs where one person has the gig, and the next person thing
they notice
there's
somebody
like
in
3
the
or 4 of
audience.
them up on the stage
Yeah.
having a big jam session. So,
Yep.
and also the trop rock coastal Americana community itself, as far as the listeners, they really embrace the music, embrace the artists.
do.
And I tell you, there's no better group of music fans out there than there is in this genre of music.
Yep.
By far, from what we've experienced, it's all, it's positivity.
Yeah.
You know, even in Nashville, you get that negativity, you
Yep.
get that politics, you get that backstabbing, and within the artists and the music, it's just amazing to see them all work together for one, common purpose, and that's just to put out great music.
Yeah.
Put out great music and have a good time.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
Well, speaking of great music, you about ready to play something for us?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited. I've got my nylon string guitar here, and this is
All right.
just immediate beach vibes, at least for me.
Nice.
All right, let me shut the bar door there. Yeah.
Yeah, this guitar is kind of cool too because it's got this built-in reverb. So if I just turn this little dial here, it sort of
Ooh, I like that.
kind of gives you a little bit of a vibe.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. But yeah, I'll play a song here. This is something I wrote pretty recently. I wrote it with a buddy of mine named Sam Comfort. And he actually came in the room with this idea, and as soon as I saw the title, I was like, oh my God, I have to write this with you. We got to finish this song. So the title is called So Far, So Bueno. And yeah, just wrote this a couple weeks ago. And yeah, I guess you could consider it a breakup song, but me being me, we find a way to put a beach in there somewhere.
Absolutely.
Right? All right. I'm going to take the headphones off.
No, you're fine.
And let her rip. Here we go. This is So Far, So Bueno. I just couldn't get over you saying adios. You sent me down a spiral when you left me solo. I know you told me go to hell, and well, I tried to listen. I started heading south, somehow I missed it. Wound up getting caught in the Mexico wind. But ever since my feet hit the sand, so far, so bueno. Yeah. Left all the missing you north of the border. These days I just lay low. My only concern is who's taking my order for frozen pink umbrella drinks and senoritas winks. That Tahitian sting is tasting so sweet. If you wonder how I've been since you let me go, so far so bueno. The playa's been playing the part of my shrink, and I caught a marlin for the first time this week. Girl, I thought I'd miss you, but the simple, salty truth is the ocean and the sky are the only things blue. So far, so bueno. I Left all the missing you north of the border. These days I just lay low. My only concern is who's taking my order for frozen pink umbrella drinks and senoritas winks. That Tahiti sting is tasting so sweet. If you wonder how I've been since you let me go, so far so bueno. If you get a postcard from someone in Puerto Vallarta, that someone who sent it, they meant what they called you. Oh, how long I'll be here, who knows? But so far so bueno. Left all the missing you north of the border. Girl, I still away go. My only concern is what flavor to order, and frozen pink umbrella drinks and senoritas winks. That Tahiti sting is tasting so sweet. If you wonder how I've been since you let me go, so far so bueno. So far so bueno. So far so bueno. So far so bueno.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Everybody
thank you.
else does too. Larry says great lyrics.
Thank you.
Now that one you just did a couple weeks ago, so that's not one off the newer album, right?
No, that one's an unreleased, unrecorded, just sort of a work tape right now.
debut.
But
Wow.
debut.
Love it.
Love it.
it.
Yeah, I'm
We'll be
hoping
waiting for it to come out.
someday. Definitely, I think it's on the horizon, no doubt. But it's a fun one. It's a fun one.
So how was the writing process? Did it go quickly, or is this something you guys had to mull over a while?
It was about 2 sessions, I'd say. I'm not a writer that some guys in Nashville and some guys and girls, they can just crank out a song in an hour. Mm-hmm. I tend to take my time more so. I think I'm a little more picky, I guess you could say, and you know, my personality is a little bit more analytical, and I like to take my time. So that was about 2 sessions. So I guess about 6-ish hours from just the conception of the idea all the way to kind of a finished song with the finished idea.
Well, that sounds pretty quick to me.
Yeah, for sure. Nashville standards, I don't know if they would consider it quick, but honestly, as long as the song comes out the way you want it, and as long as it comes out good and worth listening to, I think it shouldn't really matter how long
worth
it
the
takes.
time, yeah.
For sure. But it was a fun write. Like I said, he brought in this idea, so far so bueno, and then we just kind of sat with it for a little bit and figured out what the story would be around it, and then just kind of settled on, this guy gets his heart broken, and instead of sitting there to wallow in his sadness, he's like, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to get over you, and what better place to do it than on the beaches of Mexico.
Yeah,
That's
very
no
nice.
lie.
So your initial EP was California Rays.
Yeah. Yes, that was a release from last year, so I kind of, I guess, staggered the singles. I did 4 singles in a row and kind of packaged it at the end as an EP. So yeah, those were songs that I had all written in California, and I kind of wanted to come to Nashville with a project or an EP that sort of represented myself and my sound, and I thought that the California Rays song that's on there is sort of a good presentation of the coastal country sound. And if someone came across me in Nashville and they wanted to know who I was and what I was about, that the California Rays would be a cool title and a cool kind of lens to view me through. So yeah, I put that out last year. It's got 4 songs. It's everywhere you can find music. It's out there in the world, Spotify, Apple Music. So
Do you mind to play that song for us tonight?
Oh, I could play that one. It's been a while since I played that one. I'll have to.
Well, you got to watch Liv.
I am
She's
famous for putting people on the spot.
Yeah, she'll do that to you. So you got to watch her.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, while you're refreshing your memory over there, Maureen says they are. Let me see. She gave me an update. Conference champions.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
All right. That's pretty exciting.
And Uncle Alex said you need to meet MFG Records, and you really do.
Okay.
Absolutely. Our sponsors, Dave Sines and Beth Travers, they, of course, been in country music in the coastal world for a very, very long time. Not only are they singer-songwriters themselves, they are music producers. So.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they are perfect ones for you to get to know.
And they have a home in Nashville and a home in Florida. So.
Oh, man. They're living the dream. It sounds
They really
like.
are.
In Nashville and in Florida. That's
Michael
so cool.
Parks just said,
I like that last name.
I know, right? Michael Parks just said, man, I did a voice thing, was listening on a speaker and had to turn the chair to YouTube to see this guy. He is bueno.
All right.
So we love that, Michael. Thank you.
That's so cool. I love that. Thank you very much for saying that. Yeah, I'll play California Raised, but to be honest, I cannot remember the first verse in my head right now. I can remember the chorus, but maybe I'll
if you just
circle
give
back
us
to
a
California Raised.
snippet of it, yeah.
Yeah. Let me do a snippet. Yeah, I'll sing the chorus since that's what's seeming to be coming to my brain right now. Sunshine, blue skies, free as a bird with my arms out wide. Out here is my speed. Everything is crystal clear in the ocean deep. The West Coast tide just doing what it does. Calms my mind when the going gets rough. And even on my darkest days, I know I'll see the light under California rays. Yeah. Ooh, under California rays. So yeah, that's the chorus of California
Love
Raised.
it.
Yeah.
You know,
I
there's
love
a
it.
saying, don't bore us, get to the chorus. So I was just cutting out the verses, going right
love
to the
it.
good stuff.
Love it.
Nice.
But yeah, you know, it's like, I'm writing so many songs now, it's kind of funny, but you sort of start to forget your own lyrics, which is kind of a
Yep.
funny thing. I always looked at some heroes and musicians of mine, and I love to see their live clips, and sometimes they'd be like, oh gosh, what's that second verse?
Right.
And I'd be like, it's your song,
How
you
do you
wrote it.
not know that?
And here I am doing the same thing.
You know, it happens to a lot of artists.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen, what should I say,
Brian just did
big mainstream country artists out there, world tours, and I've seen them forget their lyrics.
Yep.
And some of them are lucky enough that they have the fans to bail them out and
true.
can sing
they
it
can
for
just
them.
pretend the fans are, yeah.
You're
Definitely.
right.
Point the mic at the fans, it'll be fine.
I want
Right.
to point this mic virtually to the audience and see if anyone can bail me out here.
Right? I used to work with a country music singer, and that's what, I would always stand because I have my spot in front of the stage.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just like that. So, but I would stand up front off to the side a little bit. And so if he would forget his lyrics, that's what he would do is he would motion to the band to go ahead and play an extra, minute. And
Yeah.
then he would look at me like, okay, what's the words?
Nice.
And most of the time I remembered them. Other times I'd be like, oh no,
Yeah.
because I would forget too. So
It's a weird thing that happens to your brain when you know that you got to remember them. It's like not going to remember them, but you just got
Right.
to let it flow, let it come to you, and then sure enough, they usually pop in there.
exactly. So you just said something a minute ago that prompted a question, and I don't remember what it was. We're talking about speaking of forgetting things.
Maybe influences, perhaps? Was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Okay, cool.
Who were your
Oh man.
influences? You said you had looked at some heroes and some influences.
Yeah, I got a couple for sure. I mean, Kenny Chesney is my hero in country music, and he's, I guess for a lot of people, he's kind of the face of that sort of beachy country, coastal country
Of
sound.
your generation, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So he's an idol of mine. Jake Owen is also another one of my heroes.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
I love his music, and I love Kenny Chesney. Grew up listening a lot to the Beach Boys too.
I
being
love
a
them.
California band. My dad always was playing the Beach Boys, so I love their harmonies. I think
Yeah.
their vocal arrangements have sort of influenced me. I try to incorporate a lot of harmonies into my music. But yeah, definitely Kenny Chesney, Jake Owen, Jimmy Buffett for sure. I like a lot of his stuff, and unfortunately, he passed away recently, and that kind of prompted me to get more into his catalog, and I've been finding myself just kind of getting into the nitty-gritty of his stuff and sort of getting a better knowledge of what he does. But
Yeah.
I look up to him and respect him quite a bit. So, yeah, all my heroes in music, they kind of do what I'm trying to do in the sense that they're inspired by the life by the water on the coast, and they kind of have that flair in their music. And not every song has to be about the beach or about
Right.
that lifestyle, but like it's it's a lens of how you view them, and it's a brand. So I'm trying to look to that as
And-
inspiration.
Have you found that, like for me, I think some of the best music is the music that was never released as a single.
Yeah. Oh,
Like those
absolutely.
deep cuts that you find from listening to the entire album, which
Yep.
we don't do a lot anymore, but
Right.
I think that is some of the coolest music that they put out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the deep cuts. I mean, that's how you know the fans from the real fans.
Right,
The real
right.
fans.
Right.
But yeah, I love listening to old albums and going through and finding the song that speaks to you, and and learning the hero songs, because it definitely has an influence on what I'm doing. But yeah, how about you guys? Who are some of your favorite kind of influences? And if you had
How
to name
far?
a few.
I'm not used to getting questions. How far
No.
back are we talking? So, grew up listening to Johnny Cash,
Okay.
Loretta Lynn,
Yeah.
that era, Tammy Wynette, those folks. Then in middle school, Survivor was probably my first. I don't know if it's really considered rock anymore, but my
Yeah.
first rock group. Loved Survivor, and Bruce Springsteen.
Cool.
All those guys. And then in high school, it was the hair bands. Love me some John
We're
John
dating
Bon
ourselves
Jovi.
now, okay?
I know, right? That's why I said his generation, because for our generation it was Jimmy Buffett
Yeah.
in the coastal world. For
Yeah.
his generation, it's Kenny Chesney.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting. Now I feel old.
Well, just like I
But-
said last week, I said or 2 weeks ago when we did the whole show about Jimmy Buffett's influence on country music.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sure enough, like I said, there wouldn't be no Shoes Nation
Nope.
without the Parrot Heads and Jimmy
Absolutely.
Buffett and all that first.
Absolutely.
So he definitely paved the way and is definitely a very big influence of Kenny's and obviously very
Yeah.
close friends after all, too.
Yeah. And Kenny actually has a house down in Key West.
Yes.
Okay.
That apparently when we were in Key West, I didn't know was his house.
Wow.
Or I may have had to network a little bit. That's my code for stalking.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Fly said Blind Faith was his.
Blind Faith.
I don't know that I know them.
Me
But yeah, so it kind of depended on where I was at in my life for me. But if you're talking overall heroes, we're probably talking Loretta Lynn, back in the day.
Yeah.
And more recently, Lauren Elena.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Love her.
Of course, she's a local girl.
Yeah.
Right, Knoxville? Or
She's actually from Rossville, Georgia, just right across
Okay.
the river.
Okay.
About 20 minutes from here.
Rossville, yeah.
Yeah. And then Neil McCoy, of course.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
to say Neil McCoy.
Nice.
There you go, Rick. Take your shot.
love
He's
it.
driving, he can't.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's an ongoing joke because everybody knows that I love Neil McCoy.
Uh-huh.
And so they started saying that every time I said his name, they were going to do a shot. It was going to become a new drinking game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's probably mine. How about yours, honey?
Well, for me, most people know that growing up, I despised country music.
Really?
Absolutely despised it because I was,
For both of us, it was kind of a cycle.
I was tortured with the sounds of Loretta Lynn, Conway Twitty, and Hee Haw.
Yep.
And as a kid. And so I did everything I could to go against that.
Yeah.
Especially when I got to high school, I was DJing, so it was everything was like top 40,
Yeah.
the dance music, the hip hop and all that. And so that was a lot of what I was into. I got in, of course, to me, Def Leppard was like the rock
Oh, yeah,
band.
Def Leppard was great.
When I was a kid. But it wasn't until I was in the military and overseas, and I had a lot of guys in my platoon. A couple of them, when we were in the desert, had guitars, and that's what they would play. Country and like the
Yep.
old classic like folk
The
songs.
nostalgic stuff.
we would sit there late at night, and singing about leaving on a jet plane and Cats in the Cradle, and you'd sing that, and then you just go on, and then I heard Garth Brooks, and that was the first person I can honestly say, country music wise, I was actually first drawn to.
Yeah.
And I guess it was just came with maturity.
Yeah.
And my taste of it changed with that. So with him, I started listening to him, and then of course, Toby Keith.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of liked that style of country at the time, which I know a lot of people say that was not country music back in the day.
Rock.
That was rock country, or Garth Brooks ruined country music. I know I heard it, but that was what attracted me to country music, was listening to that. But through that, I gained an appreciation for the older stuff.
Yeah.
And now I love the classic country.
Yeah, I do too.
As far as the coastal world, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I owned one Jimmy Buffett album, and that was the License to Chill album.
Okay. Yeah.
And everybody knew Margaritaville, but I didn't know a lot about Jimmy and the music that he had. That came once we moved down here, and we immersed ourselves in it. We met the Parrot Heads, and then that's how we really got immersed into that music. But country music has just been over the years just a growing appreciation to where I went to the Bluegrass Festival. I love the bluegrass music all the way up. I just had to grow into it.
Yeah, definitely. It's so cool that it's different for everybody. I mean, there's some probably the biggest country artists now or writers that, like you said, they weren't into country music when they were kids, but they kind of find your way back to it.
Yep.
And what I love about country music is the appreciation for the greats and the history and the people who have come before you and the respect. I just think that's so cool that there's so much respect in the genre and reverence for, the George Joneses of the world, and the George Straits and the Tammy Wynetts and the Loretta Lynn's and all these people that paved the way. Whereas, I feel like other genres, there's probably not quite as much reverence and
That's a good
even the
point,
award shows. I mean, they feature older musicians and they sing their songs. I just think that's so cool.
That's a good point. That's not something that's done a lot in the other genres.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean, bluegrass does it, country does it, which bluegrass to me is a part of country, but
I mean,
you don't hear that in like the rock.
There
stuff.
are very few that you could say out there as far as in the rock genre or whatever that they I guess last the test of time.
Yeah.
There's just tons of them. Aretha Franklin, that genre, and there's just count them. There's just very few.
Yeah.
I mean, based upon the number of acts that were out there, there's only a handful that really have that test of time that are revered throughout history, so to speak. In my opinion, anyway.
Yeah. But I love the classic country. A couple of years ago when the whole COVID thing was going on, I for some reason I got real into George Jones and I listened to all his old music.
Oh, yeah?
And I just love his voice, and he's just a character in so many ways. But George Jones, George Strait, Alan Jackson, those are some of my favorite, more traditional country guys. And it's kind of funny to think that at one point, like, people thought Garth and Alan Jackson weren't country.
Right.
It's like that sort of conversation that's been happening since. And now you look at those guys, it's like, who's more country than Alan Jackson?
Well,
exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, and even he puts, put a song out, "Where did my sweet country music go?"
That's right.
Because of, country music has evolved, and and again, unfortunately, as far as the mainstream country, the industry dictates what that is. Whether it be, the pop country or, the dirt road country. But that's why we love focusing more on the independent country side.
Yeah.
Because you find out that that other style of country music isn't dead. It's just it's not being highlighted by mainstream country.
Right.
Y'all still have the power to sing and perform what you want.
Absolutely.
So true. I mean, the label picks a single, and that's what gets shipped to radio.
Right.
And then that's what the audience hears, regardless of whether or not the artist really wanted to put that song out, or it's just sort of based upon statistics and numbers. Is it playing well in the testing that they're doing, and is it going to go to number one? It's less about, what's going to move someone or the story about it. But
Yep.
you know, it's a business, I suppose, and that's just how the way that it is for now, I guess.
But we live in a time now where you, as an independent artist, have just as much opportunity to get your music out there and get recognized, to the point of record labels come begging you to come to them versus you trying to beg a record label to sign you. You know, the roles are reversed in a lot of ways.
That's what's so cool about this era that we're in, is that you can independently put your music on all the streaming platforms,
Yeah.
and you can share your story and your music through social media and your phone.
Right.
I mean, this can be the difference between getting your music out there or not. So it's accessible, which is really cool. And it wasn't like that, I'm sure, for a long time. You know, you needed those industry connections to be able to have music available for someone. But now it's just easy. So
Now, how are you at keeping up on your social media?
I could be better. There's no doubt about that. You know,
I think everybody could.
Yeah, it's like something I struggle with, because I know that it's a big part of what, you know, of life as an artist. You got to be out there. You got to be showing your face and sharing your life. I tend to be a little bit more private, so I'm trying to get better at sharing music I'm writing, things I'm doing, and just try to bring people into my world and share more about myself. So moving forward, I'm just trying to post more things that I'm doing, not even outside of music, just what I'm up to, writing songs and having a good time. So yeah, that'll be a focus moving forward next year. But for the most part, I'm kind of checking it every once in a while and post something that I think is cool.
Now, you talked about COVID and, you know, social media. A lot of artists out there embraced social media during the COVID, got on there and did a lot of online, you know, little personal shows from wherever they were at.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Not quite. So the COVID time was an interesting time for me. I had to have jaw surgery during this COVID situation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I had sleep apnea, and I didn't really know it. I was getting sick all the time, and I wasn't sleeping good, and I didn't really know what was going on. So after I graduated from school, I kind of went back home and found out that I had sleep apnea, and it was either like, hey, you can use a sleeping machine for the rest of your life,
Right.
or you got to get jaw surgery to kind of fix it. So
Oh, wow.
kind of took a year off and had to get like braces and do this horrific jaw surgery, and I was wired shut for about a month. I was
Oh, my
on
gosh.
a liquid diet for 8 weeks.
Wow.
So COVID, of course, was rough for a lot of people, but for me, it worked out well, because I was out of commission. I wasn't doing anything anyways, because my jaw was wired shut. You know?
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of what I was doing. I wasn't really writing music or playing, because I was just dealing with that health issue, and it all went great. I feel great now. I'm
Good.
sleeping really well, and it all went awesome. So I'm very grateful about that. But the
Absolutely.
COVID thing was interesting for me, because I was not doing anything anyway, so it worked out, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, after all that, I think I'm going to settle for the machine. I don't know about all of that.
It was gnarly. It depends. It depends what you want.
But you're a young guy. I'm an
Yeah.
old guy. I'll just go with the machine, you know.
Yeah,
but-
I don't know if, trying to talk to girls, hey, let me just, good night, give her a kiss, put the mask on. What's that? I couldn't hear you over the CPAP machine. So
I've had them tell me that, I should have the machine.
It's bad.
But I'm like, it'd be too much like laying next to Darth Vader.
When I can count to 30 in between breaths.
yeah, that's sleep apnea, probably.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah, he's got the nurse over here going, go get a machine. Yeah, it's not even about the snoring, because I sleep through anything. But when I'm laying there trying to go to sleep and he stops breathing, the nurse in me just starts counting the seconds
Yeah.
until.
It's
I'm like,
scary.
I do
Yeah.
it several times a night. Don't worry about it.
I know. And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to end up being everybody, this is the way this works on this show. She says something, and I will deny it or say no, and then the next thing you know, it's peer pressure. Everybody is on me about, you really need to go do that taken care of. So, and last time I kind of put off. She kept telling me, and I'm like, no. I finally said, fine, I'll go to the doctor, and it was a good thing I did, because I ended up had cancer. So
Wow.
Yeah.
maybe I should have learned from that I should listen to her more often.
Oh, wait, is that on recording?
Yeah, it's recorded.
Well, enough about us.
Yeah.
I know that we're going to do a couple things in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Do we
Coming
have
up
time
here.
for another song?
Actually, how about let's just go ahead and we'll just take a quick break, and so that we can, get our sponsors recognition in there, and also a brand new JBL Legends travel moment. And how about we lead you into the break with the song you had a little difficulty with because you just can't remember because it's been so long. How about California Rays?
California Rays again?
No, I have it right here.
I got
We'll get a break. I'll play it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to save you.
Oh, I love it.
I want to save
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, California Rays, and then
Recorded version.
coming up next, JBL Legends Travel Minute.
Pacific coast goes on for miles, been missing the sun-kissed view. And all my worries seem to float away as soon as that sand hits these boots, yeah. Between the highway and the sea, this old beach has all I need. Sunshine, blue skies, free as a bird with my arms out wide. Out here is my speed, everything is crystal clear in the ocean deep. The West Coast tide just doing what it does, calms my mind when the going gets rough. And even on my darkest days, I know I see the light under California rays. Through the years I've come back here when life gets hard to see. Find hope above that waterline and let the rest just sink. Sunshine, blue skies, free as a bird with my arms out wide. Out here is my speed, everything is crystal clear in the ocean deep. The West Coast tide just doing what it does, calms my mind when the going gets rough. And even on my darkest days, I know I see the light under California rays. Between the highway and the sea, this old beach has all I need. Sunshine, blue skies, free as a bird with my arms out wide. Out here is my speed, everything is crystal clear in the ocean deep. The West Coast tide just doing what it does, calms my mind when the going gets rough. And even on my darkest days, I know I'll see the light under California rays. Yeah, under them California rays.
And now, Tiki Man Radio is proud to present the JBL Legends Travel Moment with Joe Leo. Take it away, Joe.
Morning, everybody. It's Joe Leo with the JBL Travel Group with this week's Travel Minute. And this week, I'm just going to talk about a bunch of different things, what's happening in the news all around right now with travel. The first thing I want to talk about is Israel. All the flights to Israel have been canceled. All the escorted tours and land tours in Israel have been canceled. All the cruise lines that were supposed to stop in Tel Aviv have been rerouted to another port. So we are definitely out of the Israel chain, and it looks like we're going to be out of there for quite some time. The second thing I want to talk about is Maui in Hawaii. We all know what happened over there with the fires. The Maui Tourism Bureau has announced that the western side of the island, which is where the cruise ships dock and a lot of the small family-run businesses and tourist attractions are located, is ready to accept travelers again. And the Norwegian Cruise Line actually announced yesterday that they, because of the encouragement from the Maui community and the governor, Josh Green of Hawaii. They will now start next week sailing back to Maui. So they do a 7-night around the Hawaiian Islands, and one of those nights was they docked in Maui and they spent overnight so you could get on and off the ship. So they're going to be doing that. The third thing is Disney. They've made a lot of changes. Those of you who are familiar with Disney, they took away a lot of stuff after COVID. To go into all the parks, you needed to make a reservation. That is no longer applicable. There are no more reservations required. The other thing about them was they eliminated the dining plans, where people could actually buy a dining plan, especially if you're a family of 4 and you're in the park and, your kids want a snack during the day. That was included in the dining plan. They eliminated that, and now that's back. So the dining plan is back. They also returned the tram cars from the parking lots to the gate again, which they had stopped. And just this morning, they announced spring vacation packages, discounted spring vacation packages for kids 3 to 9 years old, 50% off the tickets to the park and also the dining plan. So that's real good because a lot of people are going to start calling right now about getting into Disney for spring break. So that's big news right there. So those are the 3 big things that have happened in the travel world this week alone. And the last one was that we just found out yesterday that we were the recipient of the Travel Weekly's Magellan Award for outstanding marketing and social media. That's something that I've always prided myself on, coming from a background of marketing and social media. When we started our travel agency, I instituted all the things that I knew from my background in the corporate world, and that was to post on social media every platform that I possibly could where I thought my ideal clients were, and not just once a day, but 10 to 12 times a day, so that I was consistently in their face. The funny thing was that during the pandemic, when nobody could travel, I was still posting. I wasn't posting deals because there were no deals to be had, but I was posting things about travel, pictures of Italy, pictures of Mexico, just to keep ourselves in front of everybody. And the minute that travel opened back up again, of course, our phones started to ring off the hook. And I have to say that we have, for 2023, end of 22 into the beginning of 23, we have surpassed our number of what we were doing pre-COVID. So apparently the marketing is working, and we were selected by a group of our peers and an esteemed panel of judges to receive this Magellan Award, which is a very prestigious award in the travel community. Anyway, that's all for this week. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. This is Joe Leo with the JBL Travel Minute. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Joe. Always travel with someone you trust. JBL Legends Travel and Joe Leo. Reach out to him at 732-831-5200. The official travel company of Tiki Man Radio.
Get a I learned it all from Time 101. I couldn't sit still or shut my mouth. I didn't know what he was talking about when he told me about the one that got away. I was 18 when it finally made sense. I missed a good one, and I was convinced that he knew it all. And I wish today that we were tying one on, not knowing what we'd get, learning much more than getting our lines wet. There'd be lessons on life. You're either wrong or you're right. Make a cast, get a bite. I learned it all from Time 101. I often wonder where I'd be today without all the things that he had to say. That tackle box was full of love and hooks, educating me more than any book. We were tying one on, not knowing what we'd get, learning much more than getting our lines wet. There'd be lessons on life. You're either wrong or you're right. Make a cast, get a bite. I learned it all from Time 101. We were Time 101. We were Time 101.
Hey, y'all, this is B-Dawg
And Lou.
from Tropical Country right here on Tiki Man Radio. Next time you take a trip down to the Key West and you want to get out on the water, we want you to check out our sponsor, Goaltending Services. Goaltending Services is the premier charter service in Key West. They offer a wide range of amenities. Goaltending Services is also a veteran-owned company, and they take care of their veterans and active duty personnel by offering a 25% discount with your veteran or military ID. For more about Goaltending Services, give them a call at 305-916-0990.
Or look them up online at goaltendingservices.com.
Off the coast on a boat, drop a rock on the radio. My baby wanna go where the black time don't. She got my dashboard throwback, blue Atlanta Braves hat, tank top turning me on. She got that heartland drawl that she got from back home. You can hear when she says, hey, y'all. She got that sweet like Alabama, got that hard like Louisiana. She made like Leona, make them down south. In them days they could leave eyes, it ain't hard to see why she ain't trying to hang downtown. My baby wanna go where the black top don't. Kick a little gravel till we're all alone. Slow roll down like the mighty Mississippi. Driving kinda crooked 'cause you're looking so pretty. Can't get enough, I can't say no. And my baby wanna go where the black top don't. She's a free bird, wild child, get you into trouble, smile flying through them tall, tall pines. She's a find a spot in the dark, crank them windows down and park, doing whatever she likes. She likes that country on the speakers and a long hair in the breeze, riding round on the outskirts with me. My baby wanna go where the black top don't. Kick a little gravel till we're all alone. Slow roll down like the mighty Mississippi. Driving kinda crooked 'cause you're looking so pretty. Can't get enough, I can't say no. And my baby wanna go where the black top don't.
driving kinda crooked 'cause she looking so pretty. Can't get enough, I can't say no. And my baby wanna go with the black top on. Kick a little, grab 'em till we're all alone. Slow roll down like the mighty Mississippi. Driving kinda crooked 'cause she looking so pretty. Can't get enough, I can't say no. And my baby wanna go with the black top on.
Blacktop Don't. That's Boomtown Saints. Oh, how about that? I almost turned myself off.
I was going to say, I kind of lost you for a minute.
Of course, that is the Boomtown Saints, our good friends, and a big congratulations goes out to them. That song is now in its 9th week at #1 on the independent country music charts. How about that?
Love that.
How
Those
about
guys,
that?
I'm telling you, they deserve it. And they are such, if you ever have the chance to meet them,
Yeah.
Derek, they are such high energy. They remind me a little bit of Montgomery Gentry.
Cool.
Yeah, they're good guys. I mean, they're super nice guys who are so thankful and so appreciative to be where they're at. They know
Very
how blessed
high
they
energy.
are. Yeah.
Very high energy.
Yeah, super calm when you're talking to them, and then they get on stage and something happens, and
That's
it is
awesome.
amazing. Yeah, so
We
have
had the
a chance to
privilege
hook
of
up with them.
meeting them at CMA Fest. We got to do an interview with them there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just, like I said, they put out this is like we're getting ready to put out our debut EP.
Yeah.
And this is the title track, and we got to see them perform, and they
was
just set
fantastic.
it on fire, and their songs have been climbing up the charts. So, like I said, 9 weeks on the independent country music charts
Man,
right
that's
now.
a big deal. That clip you just played, it sounded great. So.
It is.
Yeah.
So we've been getting around. We've been getting to know you a lot and getting to and everything. But I think it's time that we get to hear some more music. How about
Let's
that?
do it. Let's do it. I'm excited to share some more songs. This is a song I wrote a couple months back with a few friends in Nashville, Ryan Brissetti and Megan Wilder. But the title is Easy Does It. And I just had the title in my phone, and kind of a weird way that it worked out, but my buddy Ryan, he actually showed up and had the same idea. He said, man, I think we could do a cool song for you called Easy Does It. And I said, get out of here, because that's the song that I was going to pitch to you guys to write. So there was something in the air that day. I think
It was meant to be.
Meant to be. But it goes like this. It's a beachside breeze through a little umbrella in a Gulf Coast getaway drink. It's a lazy kind of morning with some road California, just letting your world go blank. It's a hammock swinging, it's your worry sinking. It's that breather you've been meaning to take. Baby, that's how easy does it, good at doing nothing, professional good time starter. Just turns off the trying, gets to unwinding, flows like a wave on the water. Yeah, when you've had enough of that same old rut and you can't unstuck what you're stuck in, well, do it just like easy does it. Yeah, easy does it. When your bills keep coming and your Chevrolet's humming, it's turned into more of a scream. And you keep grinding, but the only thing climbing is all the caffeine you need. When you feel that pressure to keep it all together, take a minute to slow down the speed. 'Cause baby, that's how easy does it, good at doing nothing, professional good time starter. Just turns off the trying, gets to unwinding, flows like a wave on the water. Yeah, when you've had enough of that same old rut and you can't unstuck what you're stuck in, well, do it just like easy does it. Yeah, easy does it. That's how easy, that's how easy, that's how easy does it. Yeah, baby, that's how easy does it, good at doing nothing, professional good time starter.
just turns off the try and gets to unwind. It flows like a wave on the water. Yeah, when you've had enough of that same old rut and you can't unstuck what you're stuck in, do it just like easy does it. Yeah, easy does it. Do it just like easy does it. Do it just like easy does it.
I love it.
What a cool song.
I know.
Thank you.
I love just the cool vibe.
Yeah.
It has easy written all over it.
Yeah, man. I'm excited about that one for sure. Yeah, again, another one of those things I'm hoping to put out next year and record here soon.
So everybody listening tonight is getting lots of premieres.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Can't even get the music yet.
Yeah, a lot of new songs. A lot of new songs.
Love it.
I don't say it sounds like that you getting a collection together. Yeah, when you start recording, are you going to continue just to release them a single at a time, or are you just going to dump an EP out there? Or
Yeah, I'm thinking of going a single at a time. I've got 3 songs all mixed and mastered, ready to roll out next year. So yeah, I'm thinking kind of one every 2-3 months. This past couple of years, I've just been sort of focusing on writing, and I have been putting out some music, as we talked about earlier, but I'm trying to kind of shift next year and, like I said, just share more of what I've been doing and focus less on writing the songs and actually getting them out in the world, playing them, playing gigs, doing awesome stuff like this. So yeah, more music to come next year. I'm thinking March will probably be the first release month, and then every couple months throughout the entirety of next year. So yeah, a couple songs done and a lot more gonna be recorded.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So between now and everybody's liking it.
I will say he fits in this genre fantastic.
He really does. So between now and when you release them, where can people hear your music? Where can they go to see you?
Yeah, so I play all over Nashville. I got a website that always has the gigs I got coming up on there. It's DerekJmusic.com, DEREK, J-Music. So if you're in the Nashville area, I'm usually playing out about every week for sure, maybe a couple times a week. If you want to stream some of my music, definitely it's out there wherever you listen. Different platforms, YouTube, Spotify, it's all there. I'm Derek James and got some songs I'm really proud of out there. As you guys mentioned, put out a song this year called Midnight Margarita on Secret Miles.
Yeah.
That one's kind of a fun vibe as well. So yeah, every stream helps, and every listener for an independent artist can really make all the difference. So
Absolutely.
yeah, would love for people to check out my stuff, no doubt.
Well, how about can you play Midnight Margarita for us?
Yeah, I can play Midnight Margarita.
All
definitely.
right. This is a brand new single?
Yeah, brand new song. This is the guitar that we recorded some of it with as well.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, let's do it. Took a dive in your eyes through the salt of that rim. Saw the string over lights dancing off. Your skin felt the heat of the night in the Mexico wind. And something in your look was saying you don't want to drink alone. So I ordered up an invitation, said, baby, would you like a midnight margarita? We can mix a little loving with the lime, and we both speak tequila. And baby, what's saying feels right. We can get the night started with a sip till the sun hits this little cantina. How about a midnight margarita? We can drink 'em on the rocks, sitting by the waves, and listen to the Sayulita mariachi play. You can teach me how to salsa right into tomorrow, baby. All it takes is a midnight margarita. We can mix a little loving with the lime, and we both speak tequila.
tequila. And baby, what saying feels right. We can get the night started with a sip till the sun hits this little cantina. How about a midnight margarita? Midnight margarita. We can mix a little loving with the lime, and we both speak tequila. And baby, what saying feels right. We can get the night started with a sip till the sun hits this little cantina. Oh, you just never know. A shot in the dark might lead you to a midnight margarita. A midnight margarita.
That your voice, I love the tone of your voice.
That's
And
exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
there's an artist, Patty with an I is out there. Her and the ambassador chimed in.
Well, hello, ladies.
But Patty with an I said it reminds her of Keith Urban.
Oh,
Okay,
So
cool.
that's
There you
quite
go.
the compliment.
There you
Mine.
go.
That's so cool to hear. Thank you.
But there is, I don't know, it almost has like that. You're going to think I'm dumb. Christopher Cross. I don't know. It just, there's something about that song specifically.
It's just laid back and it's smooth.
Do you remember the Garth Brooks Chris Gaines album?
Oh yeah, most people try to forget that.
I know, but I loved
Get that whole
it.
experience, you know.
I loved it. There was a couple songs on there.
There was and,
that I listened
yeah.
to over and over.
And
And one of those songs,
Yeah.
the tone of your voice during that reminded me of
No way.
Garth Brooks during that. Yeah.
Rumor has it that there's going to be a Chris Gaines 2.
No way.
I've heard that rumor that he's thinking about trying it again. So I don't know.
He's like,
he
didn't work
said
the first time. Let's try it again.
yeah, he said he learned his lesson that time not to put out the music before
For
the
the movie.
movie, actually.
Right.
Because the movie, what happened is he put out that whole album.
Whole soundtrack.
The whole soundtrack,
to try to promote
the whole
the
alter
movie.
ego, and then the movie never happened.
Right.
So everybody just thought he went crazy for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
Garth Brooks' alter ego. He's lost his marble.
Yeah.
So, but there was some good music. It was more poppy, and what was
There was
intended to be.
There was one song specifically that just had that vibe. Like I remember sitting back in my apartment at that time. I was going through a really hard time, and I would listen to that song over and over again, just because it was so relaxing and the tone, and it just kind of flowed. And that is what reminded me just now of that song. So,
I love it.
yeah. Doesn't get much better than being compared to Keith Urban or Garth Brooks,
Hey, I'll
right?
take that every day. Twice on Sundays.
Well, Michelle Myers, our ambassador, she says he definitely has a professional radio voice.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
thank you. I sure appreciate that. All right. Thanks for tuning on in today.
Also want to give a shout out. Your buddy down south now
Oh, my buddy.
says OH.
Hold on. IO, brother, and let's go. Hopefully, we can pull one out over Penn State. 'Cause, my brother-in-law says if Ohio State plays the way they have been playing the last couple of weeks, we're going to be in trouble against Penn State. So hopefully they get it all together.
Right. Also, I have a couple more shout outs
Okay.
if you don't mind me interrupting for just a second.
No, go right ahead.
Patty with an I said, now all you need to do is that little shoulder twitch and you be. All right. John and Nikki Hall are out there.
Hey, guys.
Harold Booth. Harold is another
Singer-songwriter from down around the Gulf Shores.
Oh, cool.
area,
Yeah.
Harold.
Super, super good guy. He's been here before as well.
Cool.
Great singer-songwriter.
Yeah. Bobby McQueen.
Our island truck driver. Hold on. There we go. Hey, well, I forgot. Rick the Stick earlier.
Oh, yeah. One for Rick.
I can't forget about Rick. I'm sorry.
Also, Josh Clark. Hello.
Hey, Josh.
Andrew Dean.
Andrew
Hello
Dean.
to you. Ada
Another great singer-songwriter right
Yeah.
there.
Ada Longo and Barry D are both out there tonight.
Hey, guys.
And Beth Haight.
Hey, Beth.
Hayde.
Hey.
Sorry, Beth. So I want to give a shout out to all of them. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in
Absolutely,
to listen
thank
to
you.
Derek.
Yeah, it means a lot. Thank you guys for having me. This has been great, and it's cool to hear that people are out there listening and
Lots of
tuning in.
Yeah. Yep, there's, like I said, people all over the YouTube, and then plus, we are broadcasting live on the free Tiki Man Radio app and about 26 different other apps, platforms across the world, and about 30 different countries. So, your voice is getting out there for sure tonight. So
I love it. Love
That's
that.
right. So everybody who is just tuning in, be sure to stream, follow, all those good things, Mr. Derek James.
That's right. Got any more music you'd like to sing for us?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll play another unreleased song. This is it's about a girl, I guess you could say, but it's kind of about me in some ways. It's about a California girl who leaves it all behind and moves to Tennessee.
Oh.
So you, if you were a girl.
Me, if I was a girl, I suppose. Never thought about it that way, but this song is called Turn Tennessee. She was LA cool, a little Malibu with a Santa Monica smile. She was a Pacific breeze through a palm tree, had that seaside SoCal style. You should have seen her neath that golden sky, ocean dancing in her eyes. But that girl, she had something else in mind. She traded sand for dirt on her feet, anchored up and she set sail, headed east in a soft-top Jeep. Beach blonde, gone Southern Belle, and she might have been raised in Marina Del Rey, but that don't mean she stayed that way. She ain't looking back and it's killing me. My California girl turned Tennessee. And sometimes at high tide I can almost taste her kiss, and that's all it takes. Missing her waves all come crashing in, and I'm right back to when she traded sand for dirt on her feet, anchored up and she set sail, headed east in a soft-top Jeep. A beach blonde, gone Southern Belle, and she might have been raised in Marina Del Rey, but that don't mean she stayed that way. She ain't looking back and it's killing me. My California girl turned Tennessee. Yeah, she turned Tennessee. And ooh, like a sunset on the coast. Ooh, why'd she have to go and trade sand for dirt on her feet? Anchored up and she set sail, headed east in an 06 Jeep. Beach blonde, gone Southern Belle, and she might have been raised in Marina Del Rey, but that don't mean she stayed that way. She ain't looking back and it's killing me. My California girl turned Tennessee. And my California girl turned Tennessee.
I love it.
Yeah. Now, did you write that one on your own? Is that a co-write or?
Yeah, that's a co-write. Yeah, with some friends of mine, Steve Smentek and Brad McKinney. Steve lives
I've
in
heard
Chicago.
that name before.
Yeah, Steve lives in Chicago but makes trips to Nashville, and Brad lives in Kentucky and does the same thing. So,
oh, cool.
We wrote that when they were in town about a year ago, maybe. It's been around for a while.
Now
yeah.
that's going on the new EP as well?
I don't know. We've been trying to kind of pitch that one around, but
okay.
yeah, it hasn't gotten cut yet. But it's something I could maybe do at some point. But
It needs pitch to Keith Urban.
Yeah, I'd love to have a song with Keith
I can
Urban.
hear that.
I can hear Keith singing that one for real, yeah.
Yeah, I thought about like Brett Young. He's from California.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Or Tyler Rich is another guy that came to mind for that song. So
Yeah.
I'd love to get, a cut with some other people too. I love writing songs, and it's a goal of mine to kind of be able to do both, release my own music and write songs for other people. So I'm kind of trying to pitch songs that aren't for me necessarily, and also put out my own music too. So
How do you decide what? I've always wondered this about songwriters. How do you decide what songs you can give up
yeah.
and what songs you want to keep?
It's just a case-by-case basis, and for me, it's kind of, does it fit in with my brand or the coastal country? Like, there's plenty of songs that I write that might be more traditional sounding, or they might have a different vibe to it, and I'm like, man, I think that's a great song, it's well written, but it just doesn't fit with my vibe and what I want to do, the image I want to portray. So kind of just depends on the song. There's quite a few songs that I love, and I love to play them, but not really interested in putting them out myself. So yeah, it's hard to know. Sometimes you just know that's a me song, and sometimes it's like, you know what, I could give that up and be happy if someone else sang it. So
But I'm sure there's those songs when you get done with it that it's so personal.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't see anybody else ever, being able to do it justice or record it.
yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a handful of songs like that where it's like, man, I don't think I'd give this up unless you're, George Strait. I'm not going to give this up.
Right.
Well, I may be
If
able
the
to give
right
that one
person
up.
comes along.
Maybe I'll play something like that. This is, speaking of George Strait, this is kind of inspired by him, and we tried to get it over to his team and stuff, and didn't end up working out or anything, but this is kind of a more, I guess, traditional country vibe, and not something that I would necessarily release myself, but I love the song, and I hope that it finds a home with somebody.
Awesome.
But it's called Brings the Neon. It's about seeing a girl out, and she just has this sort of energy about her that you can't keep your eyes off of. You don't know who she is or what she's up to, but yeah, don't want to give it all away. But this one's called Brings the Neon. It goes like this. I swear I've never seen this bar that's lit before. It's like a switch was flipped when she drifted through the door. It ain't the whiskey shots, it ain't the jukebox glow, or the Modelo sign in the window, no. She brings the neon, she burns all night long, brighter than the stars in a honky-tonk sky. Ray of heaven in a red dress, shimmering her two-step. I bet she's buzzing way past closing time. Wherever she goes when she's gone, she brings the neon. I bet she's broke some hearts, never left those boys the same. She's like a siren song, and you're drawn to the flame. 'Cause she brings the neon, she burns all night long, brighter than the stars in a honky-tonk sky. Ray of heaven in a red dress, shimmering her two-step. I bet she's buzzing way past closing time. Wherever she goes when she's gone, she brings the neon. Who wouldn't fall? Who wouldn't feel a spark? That girl cuts right through the dark. She brings the neon. She brings the neon, she burns all night long, brighter than the stars in a honky-tonk sky. Ray of heaven in a red dress, shimmering her two-step. I bet she's buzzing way past closing time. Wherever she goes when she's gone, she brings the neon. Wherever she goes when she's gone, she brings the neon.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Somebody's going to pick it up.
In my head, I was thinking, who do I hear that that could pull the, and for some odd reason, I don't know why, Brett Eldridge pops in my mind when I hear that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
that guy's voice is second to none right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is a
he's
great
got
one.
that little bit deeper tone, but the man can deliver a love song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt. That's a great idea.
So, but that was the first thing that popped in my head when I was listening to that was his name popped in my mind.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
And you know, because normally, and I'm going to be honest with you. Normally, like I said, we have artists in here, and I'm like, you know, your voice reminds me of this, and your voice reminds me of that, and you know, you've got me stumped because your voice and your tone is so unique. I can't really say it. You know, it reminds me of any one particular artist.
Yeah,
it's very
like,
unique.
Thank you.
Yeah, different songs. You sound a little bit different. Different parts of songs. Like just when I'm like, oh, he sounds like that. No, he doesn't. He sounds like this. Yeah.
Like Patty with an Eye said, a little bit of Keith Urban. Yeah, it's got a little bit in there, but there's just so much more. It's more layers. Is what I
Yeah, definitely. I guess, like you said, it sometimes depends on the song. Like that one, I guess it just has more of a natural twang. Those kind of long O sounds almost. Singing with the draw if you wanted to. But yeah, that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate the compliments on my voice. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, everybody is loving it for sure.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm not being rude on my phone. I'm reading comments.
No, it's cool to hear what people are thinking and what they're saying. And that's what's cool about playing live is that you hear what songs people resonate with and what others don't. There's plenty of times where you write something in the writer's room and you're like, oh man, this is just going to crush live. And then you get there and people are just not that excited about it. And there might be another song that you're kind of lukewarm on and you go play it out and people are like, I love that song. So I guess that's the importance of playing your music live and just seeing what people think and how they react to it.
And as a listener, I've had the same thing where I hear it on the radio or social media, whatever, and then I'm like, it's all right. And then I see them perform it, and that's what makes me fall in love with the song. And then I can't get enough of it after that. So live performance can really make or break.
Yeah, and for me, actually, believe it or not, Keith Urban is a great example of that. Because I actually, initially, I was not a big fan. I mean, I liked some of his songs, but I can't say that I was a diehard Keith Urban fan or anything like that. And then we got to see him perform live and a whole new appreciation for what he does and the show he puts on and, what he brings to his music live. And he won me over, and I'm like, I'm a Keith Urban fan now because, he just he puts it out there, and in his live performance it was amazing. And then there's been several artists like that where we've went and it's like, it'd be cool to see him. And then there's a couple times we went, we're like, who's this guy? And they're like, oh my gosh, So and so I always like to get there early when we go to a concert, because I want to see the openers, because there are diamonds out there that are opening up, and I've seen a few times where an opener has totally blown the headliner off the stage.
Yeah.
So the first time I ever had that happen is I went to a Trisha Yearwood concert. And it was at a county fair, and I was in love with Trisha Yearwood. I was just like, I got to see Trisha Yearwood.
I love her voice. I love everything about her. Except I was at the same. We weren't together then, but we were at the same place.
Same concert.
Same concert, different sides of the.
But unfortunately, she had this guy by the name of Chris Ledoux opening for her, and I'm going to tell you what, this guy was everywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
And by the time Trisha got out on the stage, it was total snooze. I'm like,
because she just she stands there and sings
the ballads and everything. It was just the wrong opener for her.
Right.
And because Chris Ledoux, high energy cowboy.
Oh, he was up in the stands. He was running around. He was fabulous.
And like I said, and then by the time she's getting there playing the ballads, it was just like, adrenaline wore off, and so
I felt bad for her. A lot of people left when she started singing,
and that's sad because
I stayed for her music.
She's a great entertainer, great singer and songwriter, but that was one of them ones of be careful of your opener.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. You gotta. You want it to be good, but not too good.
Right. And then, well, Chris Ledoux is a legend.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, our sponsor, Joe Leo from JBL Legends Travel, said you have a great tone, very enjoyable to listen to.
Thank you very much.
I completely agree with that. Can we let him hear another song?
Let's do it. Let me
All right.
think of what to play here. I got a couple songs in mind. I'll do this one. Speaking of playing live, this is kind of like my signature song to close with in Nashville. Maybe I'll play that one after this song.
Okay,
actually,
cool.
We'll send it off with that one.
All
All
right.
right.
I'll do one that people can listen to, right, and so you can stream. This song was written during the COVID times. Back then, of course, a lot of things were shut down, especially back home in California. It was,
Oh, yeah.
It was a tighter lockdown, I guess you could say, than some places, so you couldn't really do much. That's where the idea for this one was sort of inspired. I wrote it with some friends in Nashville. Kelly McKay and Steve Smentek, we did it on Zoom. But it's about some things in life that you can never close, and the ocean is one of those things.
Oh, cool.
It goes like this. Girl, they say the city never sleeps, but it's looking pretty dim right now. They're sweeping the floors and locking the doors and turning that neon out. Yeah, you're looking like you don't want to go home. Well, I know a place where we can go. Hell, I can see it from here. Yeah, just past that pier. The ocean is always open, the waves are rolling our way tonight. A 24/7 slice of heaven you only get in this beach town sky. Salt in the air, sand in the dark, you and me and a million stars. When everything else in this town is closing, the ocean is always open. Yeah, the ocean is always open. We can leave our shoes by that no trespass sign. Climb that lifeguard chair, still a kiss up there. If the cops come, we'll tell them it ain't a crime, 'cause the ocean is always open. The waves are rolling our way tonight. A 24/7 slice of heaven you only get in this beach town sky. Salt in the air, sand in the dark, you and me and a million stars. When everything else in this town is closing, the ocean is always open. Oh, yeah, the ocean is always open. Well, girl, the water is wide awake, so let's not make it wait. 'Cause the ocean is always open, the waves are rolling our way tonight. A 24/7 slice of heaven you only get in this beach town sky. Salt in the air, sand in the dark, you and me and a million stars. When everything else in this town is closing, the ocean is always open. Oh, yeah, the ocean is always open.
And of course, that is on the California Raise EP.
It is.
Awesome.
Yeah. Track number 2, I want to say.
Nice.
And you would be correct.
Nice. So Callie McCool says he did a lot of paddleboarding during the COVID shutdown. So
Cool.
he's liking that song.
Yeah, paddleboarding is fun, man. I got to do that a few times in Morro Bay, and it's a fun thing. I'm sure they do it around here. And
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Out here in Harrison Bay, kayaks and paddleboarding, you'll see it all over the lake there.
Yep.
However, now the time of year, it's cooling down. The
The
lake's
water's starting to drop.
the TVA drops the water level and stuff.
Oh, really?
So
It
yeah,
was the craziest thing when we first moved here. There's this really cool place where they had when the Olympics were in Atlanta. Not too far from here, there was a place that they made for the kayakers or whatever going down the mountain. So I went up there one time and the water was just free flowing. It was beautiful. Brought him down, and when we were looking at moving here, I'm like, I have to take this place. It's the most beautiful place I've ever seen. We get up there and the whole river's dry. I mean, like dry as a bone. He's like, I'm looking at rocks.
He's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. So this happened 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Finally, I looked online. I started asking around, and then I looked online, and I found out that they just shut the river off. Like, just
They just decided no more?
they
Well-
they divert it for the power plant.
so the TVA, like certain hours, there's a river there.
Okay.
Other days and hours, there's nothing.
That's
so,
crazy.
yeah, I just thought that was the craziest
so
thing
funny.
ever.
And the coolest thing we saw is though
just shut the water
is
off.
like we were there when they actually just turned it on.
Oh, it was
Did it just-
awesome.
was it
So we were on this bridge that overlooked the area where they used the kayak for the Olympics.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, just down over the mountain, you could see these.
And it starts with a little trickle.
Just a trickle,
Yeah.
and then you just see this whole flood of water coming down over the mountain. And the coolest part was when we were there was a guy in the kayak riding that lead
Yeah.
wave down the mountain.
Purposely, yeah.
I'm like, that guy's got a death wish. I'm like,
Yeah,
there ain't no way.
When we go kayaking, it's on the little, it's
Yeah.
on the lake. It's all calm. We don't do the whitewater stuff, but
That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
it was really cool. So if you just an FYI, if you ever
Yeah.
want to see the rapids or where they go whitewater rafting a lot around here, make sure it's at the right time.
Yeah, I got to check with you first
check
before
with
I go
me.
out there.
Now,
Other than that, there's
you,
nothing.
you ever seen the movie Old Brother, Where Art Thou?
I have, actually.
Okay, so
yeah.
you
Love
know
that
movie.
they were rushing to try to go get the loot before the valley flooded.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's what the TVA did is they flooded the
Yeah.
valley.
That part's a
And,
real part of history.
If you
Yeah.
go down
cool.
58 here, you actually see a sign that says Old Harrison. And the old town of Harrison is actually for all the summer months is underwater.
Yep.
So when
Wow.
in the wintertime they drop the water, then Old Harrison comes into view. It's a little island that you can take a boat or
No way.
kayak out
Yeah.
to and explore the old
is too
town
cool.
of Harrison. And
Yeah.
there's still like steps and sidewalks and remnants of roads and stuff that's still out there.
Every
so,
year I say I want to kayak out there, and every year he says, it's cold, right?
the
I
water
haven't
goes
made it
down,
yet.
it gets cold. But
Yeah.
but yeah, that's exactly what the TVA does. They flooded and there was a lot of towns and everything that was
Wow,
lost.
that's too cool.
So we learned that little history lesson when we came down here. It was like, that
Yeah.
was actually real? Yeah,
Yep.
it was.
This
Yep.
part of the state is so cool. I went to Knoxville once, but I haven't been to this area of the state, and it's just a beautiful drive. And
Yeah.
it's cool. You guys are close to the water over here, so
Well, anytime
It's a
you
great
want to
place to
come back,
be.
you let us know.
Yeah.
We'll get you in studio. We'll take you sightseeing and touristing
Absolutely.
and all that good stuff.
And I tell you, there
So,
are
we would love to.
There are many great music venues.
Yeah.
Here in Chattanooga downtown to play.
A lot of the Nashville folks know there's a Puckett's Grocery.
So
Yeah,
there's
I've
there's
here
one
in
here.
Chattanooga.
Okay.
But there's a lot of other venues, the Bear House Ballroom. I mean,
Yeah.
and then a lot of the breweries. We've got a lot of breweries and distilleries here
Yeah.
that have live music. So there are a lot of venues for an artist to come down
Yeah.
and gig around here as
The
well.
Guitar
So-
Museum. The Guitar Museum has live music, and they actually just moved locations to a bigger place. So
Yeah, Songbirds. It's a guitar
Yep.
museum. If you're into
Okay.
guitar history and
Yeah.
everything, it's a great place.
that's cool. Yeah, I probably should be a better guitarist for how long I've been playing, but it's cool to go to.
well, you're
See,
doing
yeah.
a fine job tonight. So
Thank you.
Well, we want to definitely thank you for taking the time, taking the drive over here to spend with us and letting us get to know you a little bit more. And I'm without a doubt, I know there's going to be a bunch of people looking up more of your music and downloading and streaming it.
we gotta let him do his closer. Though.
We do.
Yeah, we
So,
can't. Can't let you get away without that.
All right.
Yeah, well, I'll do one more, but thanks
Yeah.
again for letting me be a part of this. And yeah, I feel like the music fits in really well with what you
Yeah.
guys are doing. And
Oh, it's
thanks to,
exactly what we do. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks to you guys for letting
So
me do it.
all we have to do now is the ambassador is already working.
Yes, I'm
So
sure she is.
She's listened. She loves what she hears. She's on it. And she's the ambassador of all great things. She promotes anything and everything that
That's
she
right.
loves,
Cool.
including great music. And
Yeah.
she's a great loyal fan and friend of us here at Tiki Man Radio. So
All right.
That's right.
I have no doubt that she's already at work.
Absolutely. And Miss Maureen says she's really enjoyed your music. You have a great voice, great tunes. So she's
And of course,
she's on it too.
Yep, and she's over there in North Carolina.
Oh, cool. Thank
Yeah.
you, Maureen. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
All right.
Well,
So what would
yeah.
you like to close with?
I'll close with a fun song. So when I moved to Nashville, I was working this fun job. I was a tour guide, which is kind of ironic that I moved to Nashville and became a tour guide. But the fun thing about these tours is that you give them on golf carts. So if you've ever been to Nashville, you'll see running around downtown Nashville is these tour guides with the headset on, giving tours of Nashville on a golf cart. So one of the tours that we would offer, we had a few, but one of them was a bar tour and the brewery distillery tour. So you'd pick up a group of tourists, take them to all the different beer joints and distilleries around town. So pretty quickly I went to a bunch of places in Nashville to get a drink, right? So what I found was that my favorite places in Nashville, and really anywhere, are kind of the hole-in-the-wall, dive bar, sort of low-key spots. They might look kind of sketchy from the outside, but that's where the magic is. So that's what this song is about, and I wrote it with some friends in Nashville, Kelly McKay and Tom Pino. But the song is Can't Judge a Bar. It goes like this. They're charging 20 at the door at the club down the street, sipping top shelf galore, and 11 kinds of daiquiris, a red velvet rope, and a line around the block. By the time they get in, I'll be on my second shot, 'cause I'm good here at this hole in the wall. Ice cold beer soon as you open the door. Jukeboxes on, they'll play your song. They got Big Buck Hunter. The drinks are cheap and get you way drunker. You walk right in for free and man, you'll see. Can't judge a bar by its cover. You can't judge a bar by its cover. So when I'm live, I always tell the audience, okay, when I say way drunker, you repeat way drunker after me. So if you guys feel inclined, you're welcome to repeat the part where I say way drunker.
Oh yeah, we got this.
Yeah, I always got a friend, even if you come alone. Everybody knows your name until they forget their own. So I'm good here at this hole in the wall. Ice cold beer soon as you open the door. Jukeboxes on, they'll play your song. They got Big Buck Hunter. The drinks are cheap and get you way drunker.
Way drunker.
Walk right in for free and man, you'll see. Can't judge a bar by its cover. You can't judge a bar by its cover. That was perfect, by the way. Yeah, if you're trying to tie one on, come on. They got happy hour all night long. So I'm good here at this hole in the wall. Ice cold beer soon as you open the door. Jukeboxes on, they'll play your song. They got Big Buck Hunter. The drinks are cheap and get you way drunker.
Way drunker.
Walk right in for free and man, you'll see. Can't judge a bar by its cover. You can't judge a bar by its cover. You can't judge a bar by its cover. Can't judge a bar by its cover.
I love it.
That could be my theme song right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is awesome.
You guys nailed it. The background vocals were exactly what we needed.
Well, to say that, we've had more than one opportunity to stand in a bar and sing along. Yeah,
Right,
That's
right.
pretty much where our forte is, singing along in a crowd,
Yeah, in a crowd. That's our forte.
That's right.
We do karaoke around here once in a while,
Oh,
much
nice.
to the chagrin of the Tiki Man. So we got a little bit of experience.
Just a little bit. Well, before we wrap up things around here, we need to let you know what's going on here at Tiki Man Radio.
Here's your weekly lineup for Tiki Man Radio. Sundays, it's The Big Show. Sunday mornings with the Tiki Man starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Island Time. Streaming live on the Island J live cam from the Chocolate Bar Studios in Harrison Bay. Come over and be part of the show. After The Big Show, it's Tuesday on the Island Replay with B-Man and Michelle. Recorded live from Key West. Later that afternoon on Sundays, starting at 5 p.m., it's Rick the Stick's Hometown Licks, sharing the music of his hometown. And later on Sunday, it's the Sound Man from Hell with Gary Eck, the Key West Show, live from Key West. Mondays from 6 to 8 p.m., get on the Peace Train with Ed the Train Man, live from Crown Point, Indiana. Wednesdays, it's Where the Boots Meet the Beach with Tropical Country with B-Dawg and Lou, streaming live on the MFG Tropical Live Cam from the Chocolate Bar Studios from 7 to 9 p.m. Fridays at noon, it's the local side of Key West with our concierge girl, Kelly, Tiki Man Radio's personal assistant in Key West. If you're planning a trip to Key West, make sure you reach out to Kelly. Fridays starting at 8 p.m., it's Coastal Confessions with B-Man and Michelle from the Beachy Shell Studios in Key West, live every Friday, having some fun with our friends and sharing great music. Saturdays, take a trip back in time with Jukebox Saturday mornings starting at midnight and going to noon. This is where we open up the massive archives of the radio station and take you back to that old shagging music. That's your weekly lineup for Tiki Man Radio. Make sure you tune into all these great shows and keep listening to Tiki Man Radio and have some fun.
That's right. There is always something going on here at Tiki Man Radio, so make sure that you like and subscribe to our YouTube page and all of the social media pages. And if you can follow us at the Tropical Country with B-Dawg and Lou on Tiki Man Radio on Facebook. And we always give you a little bit of the early insight as to what's going on the show before everybody else does. So there's a little bit of advantage to follow us there on the social media. And of course, Mr. Derek James, where can everybody follow you on social media?
Yeah, Instagram's a great place to do that. I usually post some updates about new music, and my Instagram handle is @DerekJMusic, and the website's a great spot too, DerekJMusic.com. But if you search Derek James anywhere, just look for the guy in front of the beach, and that's usually my profile.
Because I found funny that there is another Derek James who's a musician, funny enough.
There's a couple of them out there, but I'm the one in front of the water, so that's how you can find me.
That's the most important part right there.
Well, our listeners know how to spot the ocean, so
Yeah.
They kind of know where it's at.
that's right. So Derek J Music.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Thanks again, guys,
Yep.
for having
And
me.
where are you going to be performing at in Nashville up soon where we come see you?
Ooh, let's see. I got a writer's round coming up here pretty soon. Let me check the old calendar right here. Halloween. I have a gig on Halloween night, the 31st, at a
Ooh.
place called Bar Lines, downtown Nashville.
Okay, cool.
It's a cover gig, so going to be a 3-hour set, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., playing your favorite song that you want to hear. So come on out to the Omni Hotel, the restaurant and bar called Bar Lines.
Oh, on Halloween.
very cool.
Halloween night. Yeah.
What a fun time.
I know. What are we doing on Halloween?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe going to
Bar
Nashville.
Lines.
It's not past us just to take off and go to net. We did that. We've done that a couple times where
I'm rubbing off on
You
him
know.
a little bit.
it's a work night.
It's true.
We've got off work. We went to Nashville, turned around, drove back at 2 o'clock in the morning, and got up and go to work. We can't do it as often.
We don't do
'cause-
it without whining, but we do it once in a while. Yeah.
We ain't as young as we once was. We don't rebound from that
Yeah.
as easy anymore.
I feel that. I'm not as young as I used to be either, and the hangovers are getting worse these days.
That's true. That is true.
Well, we definitely want to thank you for taking the time and coming to spend some time with us.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm sure that everybody's going to reach out, and I wouldn't be surprised. You got some people calling saying, "Hey, I got a house venue. I want you to come and play because your music is right in line with what we do here at
Yeah.
Tiki Man Radio and what our listeners enjoy." And I think good things the come for you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And house shows would be an absolute blast. I would love to be able to do that. So thanks for letting me get up here and share my music and share my songs, and everyone tuning in. Much appreciated. Thank you so
we've
much.
Enjoyed it, and you are welcome back anytime. And like I said, you need some tour guides. You let us know.
Yeah.
Bring your friends over, and we'll show you around.
I love it.
Absolutely. And of course, we can't go without thanking our sponsors, because without our sponsors, we couldn't do what we do. And of course, we got to thank MFG Records, Tropical Live Cam. MFG Records, they sponsor our live cam each and every week so that you can stare at our beautiful faces right here on YouTube.
It's all their fault.
And of course, thank you to MFG Records, who have signed on for us for another year.
Yay!
So, yay! Thank you so much for your continued support of what we do here. JBL Legends Travel, the official travel company of Tiki Man Radio. If you're planning your vacation, don't stress yourself out trying to find the best deal on the internet and discount codes or whatever. Just reach out to Joe Leo at JBL Legends Travel. It doesn't cost you any more. So why wouldn't you let somebody else do the work? And of course, JBL Legends Travel is the partner for the 3rd annual Tiki Man Radio Escape to Paradise that is going to Dominican Republic this year. So to learn more, go to 732-831-5200, and Joe will tell you all about it. And of course, goaltending service, GTS Charters. Down in Key West, they are full service now. They have everything from your exotic tours out on Key West on the waters to a sandbar, the back countries, and as well as they have the new outfitters where they got all kinds of great items there. You can get your GTS swag, but there is so much more. I've seen some pretty cool looking hats.
Oh, yeah.
Cowboy hat. They almost look like some cowboy style hat. There is a lot to going on
I call
there.
them Lainey Wilson hats.
The Lainey
but yeah.
Wilson hats. That's a very good
Or gypsy hats.
visual. Gypsy hats.
Gypsy loves them.
So you definitely want to check them out.
GTS Charters and Outfitters.
That's right. And you can give them a call at 305-916-0990, or you can look them up online at gtscharters.com. If you want to visit the Outfitter store, it is located above the Hurricane Hole Marina at 5110 Overseas Highway, Key West, Florida. So go check them out. I know there's a lot of you heading down to Key West for the Tiki Man Radio Songwriter Showcase, which, of course, GTS is the main sponsor for Friday's lineup. So we are so excited to have them continue support with Tiki Man Radio for the Songwriter Showcase. So, we got that all in. Anything Anything you want to add before we go?
No, I just want to once again thank Derek for being here, and I really do want everybody to like, follow, subscribe, go to Instagram, go to all those places. Derek J Music. I think he's got a big future in coastal.
Absolutely.
In the coastal trop rock, coastal country world.
Thank you so much for saying that.
You are welcome.
All right. Well, I'm going to put the camera up there in the corner so we can say goodbye. And we will see you back here next week. Same time, same place. Last song, last call.
Have a great week, everybody.
Peace.
I know it's been a lot of fun, but the set list is all done. The night was very loud and you've been a good crowd, but you know it's time to run. You've all been very kind, thank you for your time. You put me to the test as I try to address all of your requests for the night. As we look to the moon and the manager's protocol. Well, I don't ever want to end, but for now, my friends, last song, last call. A spirit with his clientele, and the drinks are flowing well. A beer sent from the bar and a healthy tip jar. Handsome tunes that I can sell. It's been a cool room, but it's ending too soon. And they remember to ship departed as they surrendered to the tide, and they lip sync to the lyrics that they used to recall. Anytime I gotta say those words, oh no, last song, last call. Some came as ones and left by twos. Some still are dancing in their shoes. I break down the gear as we wind it up here. After the last song that I choose, it's the last ride near closing time. The final round poured as I strummed the last chords, and the guitar returns to the case. Needless to say, it was a pleasure to play for you all. Here's to toast to everyone as I finally say last song, last call. Here's a toast to everyone as I finally